doing? It's been a hot minute. I know, I've been busy. I wanted to go over a few items that you can universally use for different spell workings that maybe you might not like typically think of to use. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Just a second, I got an itch behind my ear. Okay. The first thing, since we just had Easter, is the Rose of Jericho. Now, back in biblical times, on Easter Sunday, they used to soak a Rose of Jericho because that is like for new birth, new beginning, when Jesus arose, remember, from his tomb. So the Rose of Jericho has been used for centuries and centuries. It's in the Bible. It mentions using the Rose of Jericho. Anyway, you can soak this in water, and you not only, we all typically know what the common use is for the Rose of Jericho, right? It's for prosperity. You can work on a renewed relationship, a renewed marriage, for improving your relationship. But you can also use a Rose of Jericho as a binding tool. You write your petition and you put it inside after you've soaked this in water and it's opened up and turned green. And then you take it out of the water and you lay it on a plate and you let it dry up back to this form. And that can be used as a binding tool for a binding spell. If someone has addiction, you can use it as a taking away. You write your petition, you do your workings, you bless the Rose of Jericho, you soak it in water, you let it open up, you put your petition and other elements to the person. If it's not yourself, make sure to get permission to do a working for somebody else. You could have strands of hair, nail clippings, anything that is personalized with the petition. Jewelry that someone always wears and has worn for years, you can place in here with your petition to take away addiction or, take away some obstacle. You put it in here, you let it dry up, and then after about 9 days of it being dried up like this, in this form, then you put it back into a bowl of water and let it reopen. You're going to burn your petition paper and anything related to the person that you did the spell for. And it is a renewal. It is a fresh start. Take away addiction, take away depression, take away whatever obstacles. Or you could use the Rose of Jericho, like I mentioned a moment ago, and as a binding tool for a binding spell. So that's one thing. Another thing that you can use is a gourd or small pumpkin. It doesn't have to be a big jack-o'-lantern. You cut the top, you leave the seeds and the goo in it, because as part of the spell you're going to put your petition and your candle and everything around this after you cut the top off, or you cut a hole in it if you don't want to take the top off. And you're going to put your working inside the gourd or inside the pumpkin, small pumpkin, remember, and you're going to let it rot outside. And let it rot in an area that the seeds can get into the soil and grow in the spring. And it's a renewal or a takeaway, a revamping, a redo, working on addiction or whatever, and turning something negative into something positive. Positive is any new growth, life. The seeds sprout, they grow another plant or gourd plant. Another way to use this is cut the top off, clean the guts and the seeds out, discard those. Put your candle inside without the lid on it, and you can scratch in a petition into the outside flush. And then you can also, light a fire inside the gourd or the pumpkin if you wanted to not put a candle inside of it, but you wanted to burn incense. You can use basically anything that you have That's what I think a lot of witch channels are trying to express to newbies. You don't have to go out and buy crap constantly in order to do workings. Use what you have. These I grew. So I grew these last year. So I put them out in a cold garage that's dark and cold. It's not heated all winter long. It's not soggy or mildewy. If it is, throw it away, don't use it. But use what you have and implement it into your workings. Let me get my specs on because I wanted to read to you some ingredients that you can get from Mountain Rose Herbs. They sell Openex resin. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. Hacking it. Juniper berries. Spirulina powder. And if you're doing something for luck and abundance, or changing your luck to finding a better job, a job that you'll be happy at, when you have a turkey, keep the wishbone. Implement it into your workings. You're using your head, right? Every time you use something, before you discard it and throw it away, think about what you could use to implement into your workings. Why not use a wishbone? Make a wish in your spell work. You could use the Rose of Jericho if you're using it for abundance and drawing money to yourself or getting you a better job, whatever it is. Make a wish, you know? Place it in here when it's completely open and green and pliable. Place it in there and then take it out, and when it closes up around this wishbone from a turkey, you see what I'm saying? Try to implement everything that you have. Cayenne pepper. We all know what cayenne pepper properties hold in magical workings. Leeky berries. Saffron. I've already done a video on saffron oil and the properties of saffron. If you don't know any of the magical properties, look it up. It's not my job to look it up for you and tell you. It's your job. That's part of your job. So look up cayenne pepper, the magical qualities of it in a spell. Leeky berries. Look those up. Type it into Google. Birch bark. Huge bag of birch bark. Got this from Star West Botanicals. Haven't even opened this bag yet. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? Let's see what the beautiful. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I might have to put the camera down. Hold on. Let me close this bag up. I don't need half of a 5-pound bag all over the floor. Okay. Let me zoom in here or bring it up so you guys can see it. Can you see that? They're just little chunks of birch bark. And birch has a very specific smell to it. And you could also use birch bark when you're planting some of your tropicals, just for more aeration in the soil. Isn't that wonderful? Gorgeous. And birch bark holds magical properties. Let's see if I can. Lychee berries. That's for restoring youth, vitality, happiness, and health. Opopanox resin, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. It heals wounds, it's known as sweet myrrh, and it clears the negative energy. Cayenne pepper, we all know that's for strength and for protection, motivation, courage. Do not burn that in your house though, because it's toxic. Cayenne pepper. Passion flower, used for peaceful sleep, renewed energy, helps in dispelling negative energies. What else? Sulfur, of course. Do not burn sulfur ever inside your home or in a room. Make sure you're outside and you're not downwind of it. Camphor, beetroot powder. It's used as in magical inks and a substitute for blood in magical workings. It's known to attract love. Chicory root. It provides strength, divination, favors, frugality, invincibility, good luck, frigidity, curse removal, and of course juniper berries. They're associated with healing, protection, love, and can be used as part of health rituals. And it's got a great fragrance, positive thinking, internal purification. So start doing your homework and pick 4 or 5 that you want to start researching what the magical qualities are, and you want to start studying and working with it for a week, or maybe 2 weeks, or maybe the month. You'd get to decide your own schedule. Anyway, I just wanted to jump on here just to kind of give you an idea. Use little pouches. You can do little mojo bags, you know, things that aren't toxic. Make yourself a little mojo bag. You could even put a couple of the seeds. Dry the seeds out. Put them in your little mojo bag as a renewing. And you're going to let this rot in dirt, a dirt pile, a compost pile, maybe a flower bed that, you know, you don't really have anything that you care about, because this is going to take over these seeds. And when you get renewal, new life from these seeds, that's going to bring your intuition and what you're asking for from the universe, from the Lord. It's going to bring it to fertility. So just wanted to give you guys something to think about, and that these can be used in many different ways, not just for prosperity. You can use these as a binding tool. You can use these for renewal. You can use this for addiction, trying to take it away from someone you care about and help them on one side of the fence. Of course, they're going to have to do their work and make commitments and little milestones to achieve. They have to do their work too. But it just helps them all the way around. So I hope this gives you another idea of how to use the Rose of Jericho, not just for bringing prosperity. And something else that you might want to keep in mind before I end this video, and right here you'll see a baby frog. I'll put change and stick it in there. It's got green rock, and this is my frog that I use for prosperity, happiness, renewal, taking the bad habit away. And I get these at Dollar Tree. You've all seen these little green rock bags at Dollar Tree. Pebbles. That's what I use for my prosperity workings. I use a green ceramic dish, ceramic frog, and I found that at a garage sale for $4. And then I've found this little frog somewhere, I don't even know where, probably a garage sale. I've got these from Dollar Tree, these frogs. I put incense in them when I'm doing a working. I stick a small incense out of its mouth. So there's a million things that you guys can use. You know what I mean? And you can use this to hold your petition and what it is that you're wanting to accomplish right by or right behind this one to hold your petition as you're doing candle work around it. So just use whatever it is that you can get your hands on. It can be dual purpose. You don't have to just go out and buy one thing for one use and that's all I'm going to use it for. Try to think outside the box to help save money. I don't know if you guys are up on listening. Let me put this back in the tripod. I don't know if you guys keep up on like economists and things like that, but they are claiming that within the next 3 to 4 years, it could be 2 years, a year and a half, 4 years, but 2 to 4 years from now, we are supposedly supposed to be repeating history and having one hell of a recession, depression era. They said just as bad and possibly worse than the Great Depression. So you're going to have to get more savvy about less product and multiple uses in order to accomplish spell workings. If you have a small front yard or a small backyard with grass, I suggest doing what the Depression era people did to get yourself ready and to start learning how to keep things alive and how to get things to produce, and have what's called a small kitchen garden. I think that would be very smart to get gardening down if you haven't done it yet. If you do not have a front yard or a backyard, you're in an apartment. If you have a balcony, if you have a sun porch, if you have, you know, anything that you can put pots, you could grow tomato plants out of pots, greens, lettuces, kale, you know, things like that that you don't have to spend money on. You're growing them in a little small kitchen garden right outside your back door, right outside your front door, right outside your balcony. Get yourself accustomed to growing your own veg, because when times and if times in history repeat itself and we hit really hard times in the United States, it's going to force everybody in this country that are very privileged in this country to reevaluate money and to look at money in a whole different aspect than what we've been looking at it. We're in a throwaway society. We are very much consumers. So I think it's, you know, it's needed. It's not that I want to go through a depression, but I really feel that it's needed in this country. People are going to start saving in jars like they did back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and slowly saving towards things they want to pay for in cash. So just something to think about. Anyway, until the next video, au revoir, and thank you for joining me. And as always, leave comments. Leave comments, you guys. I love hearing from you. We are over 500 subscribers. I'm going to do another giveaway if we can reach 1,000 subscribers. And share the video, you know. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Instagram, the link. Tell people about it. Spread the word. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do another giveaway. And I got some good goodies to send out. So until next video, blessings. Thanks for joining me. I love you guys. Bye.